Writer E. Jean Carroll was back on the stand for a third day in her civil trial against Donald Trump, alleging that he raped her inside a New York department store in the 1990s. It was the second day of cross-examination for Trump lawyer Joe Tacopina, and he continued where he left off last week, trying to find inconsistencies in her story and attacking her credibility to convince a jury that Miss E. Jean Carroll's claim is unbelievable. Just hours before the trial began for the day, Tacopina filed a new request for a mistrial with U.S. District Judge Lewis Kaplan, accusing that same judge of, quote, pervasive, unfair, and prejudicial rulings that he claims were in favor of Trump's accuser. Among his list of complaints, Tacopina took issue with the judge shutting down his questioning when he pushed Carroll about why she did not scream, why she didn't tell police or attempt afterwards to seek security camera footage from the department store. He also claims that the judge mischaracterized evidence in favor of Carroll, as well as bolstered her testimony. The judge denied the Trump team's request. Joining me now is Lisa Rubin, MSNBC legal analyst, and you were in the courtroom today. What was the basis for the denial of the mistrial? I mean, did he just simply say, I did none of those such things?
He didn't even say that, Joy. He basically said, with respect to the filing that was made before me early this morning, the motion is denied.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Tacopina, take your witness.
Moving on. So let's talk about a couple of the sort of elements in the room. One of them is that Donald Trump isn't there. He's in Scotland doing his thing. He was on his golf course. I think we have video of him doing that. Does that seem significant, or is that somehow being played up in the trial in any way that Trump isn't? We don't know if he's not going to come at all, but it doesn't seem that he is.
You know, I have to say, I don't feel the absence of Donald Trump there because the focus has really been entirely on E. Jean Carroll. She is the dominant figure in that courtroom, not Joe Tacopina, not her lawyers. It's really Carroll commanding the courtroom and including the judge, the jurors, the observers, the lawyers. Everyone's attention is focused on E. Jean Carroll.
Interesting. So let's talk about E. Jean Carroll. Some of the things that Joe Tacopina tried to sort of take her apart on. The fact that she watched The Apprentice and tweeted about The Apprentice. The fact that, you know, the not screaming part I think is so horrendous that I don't know where he's going with that. The fact that she declared herself a fan of the show. How did she respond to things like that?
You know, I thought that some of her admissions, Joy, only made her more credible. So, for example, she said she had been a massive fan of The Apprentice. She had never seen a competition show like that. And that she wasn't all that bothered by seeing Donald Trump on camera, that it wasn't until 2015 when he declared for president and his face was suddenly everywhere that she really had to confront what it meant to sort of get used to seeing him constantly.
Right. And so and she talked about sort of the Me Too movement sort of changing the way she thought, because she was also apparently Tacopina attempted to impeach her on the fact that she was an advice columnist. And when people would write in advice about sexual assault, she advised them to go to the police, and she didn't.
Multiple
How would she
times
respond
over.
to that?
You know, one of the things she said, I think it's important to understand E. Jean Carroll in the context of who she is generationally. She today, in testimony that was struck for being prejudicial, said, I'm part of the silent generation. And so she was very clear to say, the advice that I gave is the advice I know to be the right advice. And yet I was raised to be docile and compliant and accommodating and not make a scene. And I would never, ever, ever call the police. Essentially to say, look, I'm a product of 1943 when I was born, and generationally, I still fit into that, even though professionally I accomplished things that were sort of unheard of for women of my age.